Hi there. My name's John, and I really appreciate you taking the time this morning to be our group's TED presentation. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about grab and go. This is a growing trend in the QSR scene that happens to blossom significantly over the past 5 years. This is important because, especially amidst a pandemic today, restaurants have been forced to make adjustments to how their product is delivered to the consumer, making grab and go not only more prevalent, but also more relevant in today's market. Now, like I said, my name's John, and along with the rest of my team members, Olam, Riley, Michael, and Angelina, we hope to demonstrate some of the ways grab and go has proven to be a lifeline for restaurants, while also bringing up some major sustainability concerns for the present and especially looking into the future as well. Grab and go as a concept has many advantages for the modern day restaurant. For one, grab and go locations, especially in the age of technology, have been able to drastically lower their labor cost while still delivering gourmet offerings for the on-the-go consumer. Furthermore, grab and go has opened the door for existing restaurants to expand their customer reach, catering to a market of consumers who still want quality offerings without having the time to wait in a long line, much less sit down for a full meal. One great example of a restaurant that's really been able to capitalize on grab and go is Protein Bar and Kitchen. Now, Protein Bar and Kitchen is a Midwest staple that, thanks to their success, is quickly expanding to the East and West Coast. What Protein Bar and Kitchen has been able to do is deliver gourmet offerings to consumers in an expedited amount of time. By streamlining the ordering process, as you can see, customers are able to pick out whatever gourmet food or drink they'd like, check out, and walk out the door, usually within 5 minutes. This is a model that is really catered on a market focused more and more on convenience. Grab and Go has proven to be so successful in certain spaces that Reuters Magazine estimates successful grab and go locations can have a higher amount of revenue per square foot than the fast casual offering or even sit-down restaurant. Another great example of how a restaurant has pivoted to include grab and go to their offerings is Beatrix in my hometown city of Chicago. Now, Beatrix, pictured there on the bottom left, is a chic fine dining restaurant that opened in 2005. They saw a need for convenience in the bustling downtown Loop district of Chicago, and as a result, they opened Beatrix Market, pictured on the bottom right. Beatrix Market is a grab and go and salad bar location that has really capitalized on the lunch crowd in Chicago. By offering healthy options quickly, Beatrix Market has really been able to cater to the business traveler and business lunchtime crowd in the downtown Chicago market. Now, however, as the coronavirus pandemic has hit, many restaurants have been forced to transition their offerings to include either curbside or even grab-and-go service, not by choice, but more by necessity. In a recent study by Eater Magazine, they estimate that over 75% of all restaurants have transitioned to include take-home or take-out options, grab-and-go included, to their offerings. In addition, Nation's Restaurant News named transitioning traditional menu items to a more takeout-friendly presentation and packaging one of the 10 best restaurant innovations during the coronavirus pandemic. Bottom line is, grab and go was on the rise before COVID hit, and now as we move into a new normal, grab and go is really going to become a new standard in the restaurant industry. Now, although grab and go is beginning to thrive, there are some serious issues with sustainability that we really need to look at. I'm going to pass it over to Michael and Angelina. They're going to talk a little bit more about these issues. And we'll follow up with Riley and Olam that'll talk about some of the solutions to these issues and some actions that we as consumers can take today and businesses can take today in order to better the world and country tomorrow. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Angelina Barron, and today I will be discussing with you the current issues with grab and go and sustainability. Now, as we all know and are well aware of, the COVID-19 pandemic has drastically altered our day-to-day lives. Everything from how we interact with our friends and our family to how we obtain something necessary for our survival, food. Now, there have been many controversies and conversations over how to best obtain it, what are the ways to most sustainably source it, and it has been ultimately determined that to be most safe regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, the grab-and-go method is the best way to proceed. Now, with that being said, there comes the issue of how to package our grab-and-go foods and how to distribute them in the most environmentally friendly way. And how we have proceeded so far has not been the best in that regard. And this is because the way we are packaging it. And the way we are packaging it is through plastic materials. And unfortunately, with the use of all these plastic materials, there also comes a lot of issues. For example, the plastic wrapping and packaging leads to massive food waste, and there is also a lack of organized process regarding the unsold products. Additionally, there is a huge detrimental effect of plastic on the ocean and the marine life that lives inside the ocean and seas in the world. So there comes the question of, what does the future look like? Well, it has to be said that there needs to be a reevaluation of our packaging choices, and there needs to be a shift from plastic to more sustainable alternatives. There should also be a focus on zero waste.
Thanks, Angelina. My name is Mike DiOrio, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about grab and go. Grab and go is a term that refers to meals which are packaged and ready to eat on the go. It has grown tremendously in popularity over the last 10 years and encompasses how most Americans live their lives, always on the move. Convenience continues to be a leading consumer motivator. Differently from Angelina, I looked more at the lack of human interaction with grab and go meals and the possible detriment it has on us socially. Oftentimes, grab and go meals promote eating alone. This has become commonplace for many across the Western world, with many restaurants and chains promoting eating on the go. Why waste your time during a busy day sitting down at a table with others? Low interaction dining has taken off since 2014. In places like New York, solo dining and grab and go has increased by nearly 80%. Research has revealed that there are many negative benefits to eating on the run, and also eating alone. These studies found that this type of eating can be linked to a variety of mental and physical health issues like depression and diabetes, as well as high blood pressure. Now, grab and go is a neat idea, but according to studies, should not be made a habit of. It is important to be in the moment and share quality time with friends and family. Thank you. Now off to Riley and Olam.
Another issue with grab and go dining is the amount of food wasted. In the United States, anywhere from 30 to 40% of food is wasted on an annual scale, according to the USDA. While the food waste may come from a lot of different stages in food production, the over-ordering of food from restaurants and consumers, as well as the lack of sale of food from a restaurant, is a large portion of food waste. A potential solution I see for this is to redistribute food that is on the verge of expiring to families or people in need all over the country. This does not mean feeding people expired food, rather to have a system in place where food expiration labels will have a second date listed on them for eligibility to be distributed. This gives restaurants the ability to donate food that would most likely go bad or not sell to a cause that could benefit society immensely. The efficiency with grab and go restaurants is something that has really shown its popularity in recent years. This aspect of grab and go is not something that needs to be worked on because of the sheer number of benefits for people with little free time. However, grab and go restaurants have capitalized on the attractiveness of low interaction. People are sometimes too nervous or too awkward or even too busy, which draws people to low interaction dining. They would rather order on a device than have a conversation with someone. Breaks for meals have been proven to be essential in the development of a productive worker. The ability to use your time to eat as a true break is what gives your mind strength to get through the rest of the day or not feel overwhelmed with whatever is occupying your mind.
My name is Alom Mahmoud, and I'll be discussing how to fix the issues with grab and go. Our want for convenience, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, has caused an increase for more grab and go options, resulting in an increase in plastic use items and food waste. Although grab and go is the safest option during this pandemic, the use of plastic single-use items is not sustainable because it negatively impacts the environment. For example, Angelina mentioned its negative impact in the ocean. Did you know that there is 5.25 trillion macro and micro pieces of plastic in our oceans today? And the bag, container, and utensils when we simply just grab some food to go contribute to this. And without a solution soon, the damage we've committed will soon be irreversible. A simple solution is to recycle, but with grab and go, that leaves the responsibility to recycle in the hands of the consumers. And many consumers do not know how to recycle properly. A better fix for this issue could be to eliminate the plastic and consider replacing it with eco-friendly alternatives when and if necessary. For example, stop giving out plastic straws, but offer eco-friendly straws as an alternative for the customers who still request one. By eliminating the plastic at the source, it gets rid of the responsibility for the customer to recycle properly. Another fix could be to charge for plastic items. Here in Boston, I began using reusable bags because of the plastic bag ordinance. Before in Virginia, I could walk into any place and would automatically expect a bag. But in Boston, I'm charged 5 cents, so I quickly learned to bring my own bag. This tactic is great because it motivates the consumers to change their ways and add eco-friendly habits into their daily lives.
Thanks, Olum, and thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. Hopefully, over the course of this presentation, you're able to take away something new that you learned about grab-and-go restaurants. And if nothing else, maybe you're able to take away a best practice that you can use in the future whenever you do carry away food from a restaurant. Hopefully, through a combination of customers using best practices and businesses using best practices to increase sustainability, we can turn grab-and-go into something that businesses don't only have to rely on during a pandemic, but something they can actually choose to do as we enter a new normal. Once again, we really do appreciate you listening, and at this time permitting, we'll be happy to answer any questions from our classmates or the professor.